Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel on NoDQ.com. Thank you guys for tuning in live. For those of you watching live, I just got home a few moments ago from Monday Night Raw in Portland, Oregon. I was there at the Moda Center, and what a show tonight. I had a great time at Raw. I had a fun time. I'm not sure how the internet overall felt about the show, but I really enjoyed myself, and I'm curious to know what you guys thought watching the show live, or excuse me, on television live. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to TLC. I felt that the show was very effective in building up the pay-per-view. The focus of the show was setting up the main event. Yes, I am exhausted. It's been a long day. I actually ran like 4 miles before the Raw show, so I've been really busy today. Just got home, literally hauled ass back home from the Moda Center. Tyler Joseph Smith, our moderator, is here. He says it made no sense. It actually does make sense. So let's go ahead and talk about the big conclusion to Raw, the big story. Oh, WTF Kalisto. We'll get to Kalisto in a few minutes. I promise you guys, I have some stuff to say about Kalisto. So stay tuned. If you're just tuning in, please share this video on Facebook and Twitter. I know I say this every week, but let's try to get the viewers up. Rizzo says Kane is so out of shape. So let's talk about it. Kane is back. Glenn Jacobs taking a little break from his bid to become mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, I should say. He is back. It's gotta be Kane. As soon as the music hit, everybody was like, it's gotta be Kane. You know, when the fire appeared on the big screen, and sure enough, Kane came back from under the ring, attacked Roman Reigns, and helped Braun Strowman defeat Roman Reigns. And then Miz announced that if it wasn't obvious already, Kane is now the 5th member of Team Miz for the TLC match. So, does it make sense? I say yes. Kane coming back, getting revenge for The Undertaker. I mean, that seems to be the obvious storyline here. Kane is coming back on behalf of his brother, The Undertaker. Is Kane back full time? My feeling is it's probably a one-off, that this is being done to, you know, tie up the loose ends. You know, Kane coming back at Roman Reigns to get revenge. It's a story you can tell. It makes sense. But like a few people have noted in the chat room, Kane doesn't look like he's in the best of shape. So this might have been something that WWE came up with at the last minute to build intrigue in Hell in a Cell, and Glenn Jacobs was like, sure, let's do it. Why not? My guess is it's a one-off thing. I could be wrong, though, but based on, you know, him doing the whole thing in Knox County, running for mayor, my feeling is this is just a short-term thing. And I have a question for you guys, though. So we have the TLC match set for Sunday, which, by the way, is the only stipulation match with tables, ladders, or chairs. So we have no ladder match, no chairs match, no table match, no stairs match, thank goodness. I want to ask you guys, since I was there live at the show in the arena, did they specify or clarify what's going on with the finish? How does this match end? How does the TLC match end? I'm assuming the titles are not on the line. I believe there was no mention of that. So what are they doing? Is it just going to be a pinfall? Does the pin happen in the ring? I'm assuming it's no DQ, but pinfalls can take place inside the ring. I'm getting a bunch of no's. No, they did not. I'm assuming it's a pinfall in the ring and it's just a no DQ match. But if that's the case, okay, so somebody pointed out to me on Twitter, if this is a no DQ match, then why did Miz even need to fight for the right to have a 5th guy on his team? Couldn't Miz just have anybody interfere on his behalf since it's no DQ anyways? So that really makes no sense. That's like the big logic hole here if I had to criticize the storyline. But seeing Kane come back, I mean, it was a great surprise. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody predicted Kane. Everyone thought it was going to be Joe. And I prefer that it's Kane, because Samoa Joe coming back and losing his first match back doesn't really do Joe a lot of favors. Kane is not going to be around. He's doing his mayoral bid. He's going to be leaving again. So why not have Kane come in and put over Roman Reigns at the pay-per-view, which I'm assuming is going to happen. I'm assuming either Kane or Sheamus or Cesaro, maybe The Miz, but you would think that Kane's probably there to take the fall. Okay, yeah, moderate the Batista questions. The joke has run its course now, guys. For those of you in the live chat saying how big is Batista's you-know-what, let's cut the crap with that. Anyways, Future Shocker says turn Joe face and have him help the Shield. That's interesting. That's a nice little twist. What do you guys think about that? Chris Miner says 3 versus 5 is overkill. Oh, Big Willie style was just timed out by TJS. So you guys in the chat room behave. Yeah, 3 versus 5, some might say that's a bit overkill. I guess the idea is to make it, you know, add some suspension of disbelief and make people think maybe the Shield will lose. I don't think the Shield is losing, but I will talk about this more in detail with the NoDQ panel when we do our review video coming up in the next day or so, excuse me. So we'll see what happens with that, but I'm thinking the Shield is going to win. That is just my gut feeling on it. It doesn't really make sense for the Shield to lose this match. The Shield was way over tonight. I should say the Shield as a group. When Roman Reigns was out there by himself, he got booed very heavily. There were Roman fans, though. I mean, there were definitely the 50-50, let's go Roman sucks chants, but when he came out, the place erupted in boos. So that answers the question. The Shield reunion, is it going to help Roman Reigns? Based off of tonight, I would say no. I would say when this Shield reunion is done, everyone's going to go right back to booing Roman Reigns. Chris May says, who will win the Royal Rumble? Could very well be Roman Reigns or John Cena. I hate to say it. I've talked about that in previous videos. Let's stick to the topic of Raw. Victor says, I like the idea that Joe will turn babyface and help the Shield. Kayfabe Candy Ass is here and said, did you mark up for the big red libertarian? Yes, I did. Everybody did. I mean, that was what was cool about it. Nobody saw it coming. It was a nice surprise for once. And I will talk about the Finn Balor segment in a second here. I'm just thinking if there was anything else I wanted to mention regarding the Shield. So the Shield did come out at the start of the show. All 3 of them in the old Shield gear. They came through the crowd. I was a little surprised by this because I thought WWE would save it for the pay-per-view, but they did have them out and just to, you know, maybe build up the nostalgia. I thought it was well done, so I liked it. I liked the show overall. Like I said at the beginning, I thought Raw was really fun to watch live, and, you know, the focus was building up this main event and getting people interested in it. You had the Miz TV segment. You had a lot of segments built around this main event match, which is clearly the match that is selling the show. Let's face it. It is essentially a one-match pay-per-view, but it should be a hell of a match. I mean, my guess is they're going to go at least 30 minutes, maybe longer, and it's going to be a really big, epic match. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. I see people complaining about the pyro. Yeah, no pyro for Kane. Pyro is gone. So that kind of sucked. That was the negative, I would say, about Kane's return. No pyro, you know. Let's just have one time for pyro to make it more special, but whatever. No pyro for that. Oh, yeah, Chris Miner brought up Kalisto. Yeah, let's talk about the Cruiserweight segment. So, Enzo came out, cut his promo, and then, so when we had Enzo doing his promo, we had a couple of production guys bringing the trampoline down. As Enzo was showing the footage from last week, we had the crew bringing down the trampoline. So, yeah, kind of gave away to the live crowd. Kalisto's coming out and getting involved in the segment. So, Kalisto came out. Braden says Kalisto is terrible. And, yeah, Kalisto came out. He talked on the mic. Wasn't very good. Crowd did a very loud what chant at him, and then Kalisto said, Sunday at TLC, he is going to become the new Cruiserweight Champion. So Kalisto apparently forgot that he is the Cruiserweight Champion. Wow, facepalm right there. Give me a break. Kalisto. Keep that guy away from a microphone. Seriously. But other than that, you know, I liked Enzo's mic work as usual. The crowd is starting to finally boo him, although they were still doing the whole "my name is Enzo Amore" stuff. Oh, Interstate Kyle is here. Welcome to the chat room, Kyle. But like I said, the crowd was booing Enzo for the most part, but they were doing the chants with him. But the thing is, the crowd wasn't really cheering for Kalisto. They were doing the what chants, and then we had the heel cruiserweight. So we have a new development here. And by the way, Start Gaming says, "Hi, Aaron. How's it going, Start Gaming?" We had the other heel cruiserweights. All of a sudden, after being insulted by Enzo, all of a sudden, they're all buddy-buddy with him now. They came out and helped Enzo beat down Kalisto. And then we had Mustafa Ali come out and try to make the save. So I guess Mustafa Ali, or Mufasa Ali, as Enzo would call him, I guess he's getting a promotion in WWE with Neville gone. That seems to be what's happening here, is Mustafa Ali is taking Neville's spot, so to speak. Oh, Tyler Joseph Smith said, Booker T 2007. So did he say that a lot? Because I saw people tweeting me about that. And how many live viewers? We only have 142. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping maybe we could get close to 300 tonight. But I'm going to keep going here. Let's see how many we can get tonight. Please spread the word about this. Share it. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, back to the Cruiserweight segment. We had the Cruiserweights, the heel guys, beat down both Kalisto and Mustafa Ali. Meanwhile, the crowd was chanting, "We want Neville," and I believe it got on television because I asked people on Twitter, and a lot of people told me the chants did in fact get on television. Crowd really wanted to see Neville, but no Neville. He was not there. Michael Stell says, what was the best part of Monday Night Raw in your opinion? Kane coming back. I mean, that was awesome. The tag match, I would say, was the best match on the show. The tag team title match. Ambrose and Rollins successfully defending against The Bar. Camilio Gomez says, "You're awesome, Aaron." Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh, Tyler Joseph Smith brought up the first match on Raw, which was the 6-man tag team match with Titus Brand and Apollo and Jason Jordan against the Good Brothers. Is that their name now? Are they still Anderson and Gallows, or are they the Good Brothers? The Good Brothers and Elias. And I like that segment, especially when they started singing the Honky Tonk Man's theme song. Although a lot of the crowd in the arena did not get the reference. I mean, there were a lot of kids at this show, you know. There was a good mix of adults and kids. Oh, and the attendance. So, if you were following along on Twitter at twitter.com/NoDQ, DOTCOM, the entire upper deck was empty, and a couple of sections on the hard camera side were completely blocked off, and then there were a few sections that had scattered empty seats. So if I had to estimate the crowd size, I would say it was maybe around 7,000. I think is a safe estimate. Definitely lower attended than the last Portland show, because I think the last Portland Raw was in February, and I seem to remember at least a little bit of the upper deck had people in it. This time it was completely empty, so the attendance is definitely down since the previous Portland Raw in February. Yeah, I think it was around 7,000 if I had to take a guess. And I got a question here. Will Mickey lose now that she pinned Alexa? Well, that is my guess, and you know, that was what I was expecting to happen when they had that tag match. I figured, okay, what makes sense here is for the challenger to win to build her up and make her a credible challenger, which is what happened. And I don't think Mickey's winning the title. I think Alexa will retain on Sunday, but you know, that's how I would have booked it. You know, book the challenger to look strong against the champion heading into the pay-per-view. I mean, that's what you do. So I thought that was fine. I thought the match itself was all right. I mean, the crowd wasn't particularly into it. Daryl says Asuka's gonna kill Alexa. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Seymour Butts says, "Is this Kane's last run?" I don't know if this is going to be his last run. Like I said at the beginning of the video, my gut feeling is this is a one-off thing for him, and you know, he's just coming in, you know, to do the Roman Reigns Undertaker revenge storyline, and then he'll be gone again. You know, he'll be back if there's an opportunity, you know, like this. If there's a good opportunity for him to come back and do something meaningful, he'll be back. And I don't think we've seen the last of Kane even after TLC. You know, I think he'll be back. Maybe he'll wrestle every now and then. I mean, if he wins the election, that's pretty much going to be the end. But I would think he would get like a WrestleMania send-off, or they would do something for him. Or at least give him a one-on-one match to send him off, rather than have him be part of a, you know, 5-on-3 TLC match as his last match. So my feeling is we'll see more of Kane, but this might be the last time we see him for a while, if I had to make a prediction. But again, I'll talk more about it pretty soon. Oh, James says, watching Raw is a freaking chore. I literally just wait for NoDQ Live to hear what happened. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm getting questions about Roman Reigns' Twitter arguments. Let's focus on Raw, and then at the end, we'll talk about some other stuff going on in wrestling right now. And of course, I will be back tomorrow night for another edition of NoDQ Live. We have 170 people in the live chat right now, so let's see if we can get those numbers up to 200. Like I said, if we hit 300, I will give one random person in the chat room a NoDQ.com t-shirt of their choosing. So in order for that to happen, though, we got to hit 300 live viewers. Cesaro talking with his mouthpiece in, question mark. Yeah, I could barely understand what he was saying, and I think people were starting to do the what chants at him. I think a couple people were trying to start a where's your teeth chant, but that really did not catch on. Like I said, that tag match was really good, though. I definitely enjoyed that. Okay, so let's talk about the Bray Wyatt segment. Bray Wyatt wasn't on Raw, which is interesting. So 2 weeks in a row, no Bray Wyatt, no Bo Dallas. And people ask me what's going on. I don't know at this point, but if there's any updates on it, NoDQ.com will have something, hopefully, regarding those two. But right now, I mean, that is still a mystery what's going on. Oh, the measurements. So yeah, let's talk about that, because I did mention that on Twitter. So Finn Balor came out, cut a promo. They had a camera set up in the corner with a tripod, and as Balor was talking, there was a guy who came in the ring and started taking measurements. So basically, that's what they were doing. They were trying to line up the shot so it could match the footage they had previously shot of Finn Balor in the demon makeup. So Balor went up to the camera that was on the tripod, started talking, and then on the big screen they cut to the previously recorded footage of him as the demon. It didn't exactly line up. I mean, I definitely noticed it watching on the big screen. They did not have the shot really lined up perfectly. They tried with the measurements, but it just didn't work out. It was still an interesting segment. I wonder if they could have done it a different way. I mean, maybe it would have been more expensive, but maybe they could have superimposed, you know, with computer graphics, like some kind of like filter over Finn Balor's face, but maybe that would have been too expensive or too difficult. So they tried to do it this way. What did you guys think of that segment? Did it make you more excited? So now it's the Demon versus Sister Abigail. So it's not even Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. What did you guys think about that segment? Are you looking forward to that match? Did this segment do anything to make you more excited? IN says the Balor stuff was whack as F. AF. Whack, whack, whack. But Remus Jacobs said, I liked it. Michael said, no, they looked cheesy. Calvin said, I think the segment was great. So I'm seeing a lot of different opinions. Some of you seem to like the segment. Some of you seem to hate it. I guess it does fit with Halloween. Kyle says Spooky Balor versus Spooky Wyatt. And, you know, we got Halloween coming up in a week and a half or whenever it is. Yeah, about a week or so, right? No, 2 weeks. But it's October. So, yeah, I guess you could use that as an excuse that it's Halloween, so you're going to do the two characters against each other, the two alter egos. Mario says, hi from Colombia. Hi, Mario. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the viewership from everybody. It was a weird segment. I mean, it was definitely interesting, you know, with the whole tripod setup there. You know, that's something different I haven't seen before. So, yeah, overall, I did enjoy Raw. Is there anything else you guys wanted me to talk about from Raw? I think I covered all the main stuff from this week's Raw. Anything that you guys would like me to give my thoughts on? I mentioned the Cruiserweight segment, the Women's segment, the main event segment. What about Steve Blackman? Did he return? No, he did not return. No Steve Blackman. Did Jack Gallagher get a good reaction? The first Cruiserweight match, actually, yeah, the Cruiserweights seemed to get a better reaction than normal. Maybe that's because of Enzo. Yeah, Gallagher got a pretty decent reaction. I mean, the crowd, they did a main event match with the Cruiserweights, and the crowd was really into that. I think it was Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak, if I'm not mistaken. But the crowd was into it. So, yeah, I think they did get better reactions than usual. The Portland crowd was pretty good. They were into the show. They were red hot for the main event. I got to say, when the Bar came out and Ambrose and Rollins came out to get involved in the cage match, the place was just extremely loud. I mean, they were really invested in this storyline, and I think that's a good sign for the main event, that the people are interested in these characters and seeing these two teams fight at the pay-per-view. Discuss Roman Reigns' Twitter stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and if somebody mentions something else about Raw, I'll go ahead and talk about that. So Roman Reigns went on Twitter, and him and Cody Rhodes are going back and forth. Cody called himself the biggest straw in wrestling, which I think is just him, you know, self-promoting. You know, newsflash, that's what wrestlers do. They self-promote, and they exaggerate. You know, that's what wrestlers do. Roman Reigns responded, and I think it was a mistake by Roman to respond in the first place. Don't give him attention. I mean, that's the mistake right there. You know, by getting upset about Jimmy Jacobs and the photo with the Bullet Club, and then having Roman acknowledge Cody, you're giving them credibility. You're giving the Bullet Club credibility. You know, WWE would always no-sell TNA and act like TNA doesn't exist. But WWE is referencing these guys and acknowledging the existence of the Bullet Club and Cody, and I think it's a mistake by WWE to be fazed by this. It's making the competition seem like competition. You know, they're not really competition at this point, but by doing this, it's not making things any better. It's giving the smaller guys some credibility. And then Cody went on the Ring of Honor pay-per-view and brought up something about Roman Reigns wearing the vest to cover up a wellness policy violation. So, yeah, they're firing some shots here. They're trying to get under WWE's skin, and it seems like so far it's working. You know, the whole cease and desist thing over the Too Sweet. I just think it's a mistake by WWE to even acknowledge it. That's just my opinion, though. I think Roman should have just ignored it, you know. Stark Gaming says Bullet Club for life. Roman has taken the fall at TLC for his Twitter. No, that's not happening. Roman's not losing. I'm fairly certain the Shield is winning. I would be very surprised if they lost. Kyle says, guys, Roman Reigns is the big dog. You either get out of his yard or you get your butt whipped. Darren said Curtis Axel push. No push for Curtis Axel. I mean, he could have been the fifth man, but that would have been a mistake, because that would have been even more obvious that the Shield would win if Curtis Axel was in that match, I should say. But I thought that was funny, him going backstage, and he was going to make an example out of the Shield, and they cut to commercial break, and when they came back, Axel was hanging courtesy of the Shield upside down. I thought that was funny. I thought that was entertaining. TJS says, Tyler Joseph Smith, by the way, the moderator, one of our moderators. We also have Interstate Kyle here. Jinder Mahal is set to make a Survivor Series challenge tomorrow night. Oh boy, so yeah, it's looking like Brock Lesnar. Maybe we'll get a swerve, but I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, by the way, so Jinder Mahal has also challenged John Cena for WrestleMania. So, oh boy, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about WrestleMania right now. Jose said, why is Kane back? I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Kane is back to get revenge. Undertaker got beat by Roman Reigns, and Kane decided to wait 6 months to come and get his revenge. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not defending the logic here, and I did talk about the big logic gap earlier with the whole TLC match, but it was cool to see Kane back. I mean, it was definitely a nice surprise ending to Raw, and it's nice when you don't know what's going to happen. So, on that note, I really did enjoy the end of Raw and seeing Kane back one more time to try and get revenge on behalf of Undertaker. Not going to work. I expect Kane is likely going to take the fall, but it was nice nonetheless, and the crowd really enjoyed it. And Raw was really fun. I had a good time at Raw, and you know, I thought the show did a solid job of building up the pay-per-view. Rey Mysterio reference. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Rey Mysterio reference was. Did Kalisto say it during his promo? I mean, there were so many what chants that I was not even hearing half the things he said. But I did hear when he said he was going to become the new Cruiserweight Champion. And I was just like, what? Really? I mean, that's right up there with the good lucha things in terms of his bad promos. Just like I said earlier, keep that guy away from the mic. Why does WWE keep doing it? The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over again and expecting different results. Keep Kalisto away from the mic. How hard is that? Let's see here. What? Oh yeah, and yet he blocked you. Well, yeah, I think he blocked the NoDQ account. No, maybe that was Zack Ryder. Somebody botched something during a SmackDown Battle Royal. It might have been Zack Ryder. I think Kalisto just blocked the NoDQ account because of the botched promo from the draft. From what I remember, I think Ryder blocked NoDQ because I just simply recapped Ryder botching a move in the SmackDown Battle Royal. Let's see, looking at some of the other comments here. Oh, TJS says Kalisto blocked me too. Yeah, and the funny thing about Ryder, I'm not sure if Kalisto does it too, but I said this before, I don't tag people, I don't @ them, so they must be looking up tweets about themselves on Twitter and seeing a NoDQ tweet and then getting angry about that and blocking the account. But I don't directly tweet at those guys, so it's kind of interesting that they start looking up what people are saying about them. You shouldn't do that because there's a lot of negativity on the internet, and granted what I do is constructive, at least I try to be constructive, but there's a lot of people that are very negative for no reason, just for the sake of being negative. And you know, if I was a wrestler, I would try to avoid all that, especially on places like Twitter when, you know, people can just troll and say whatever they want to offend people. But yeah, I mean, sometimes the feedback is constructive, and you do need to listen to the more constructive feedback, but, you know, you shouldn't be too concerned with what people are saying on Twitter, in my opinion, at least. Michael Stell says, NoDQ is #1. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for tuning in. I appreciate the viewership and everybody else, for that matter, tuning in to NoDQ Live. Is Paige ever going to return to WWE? I don't know. I think there's a decent chance, but I really don't know at this point. I think it could go either way, but if WWE... I think it just depends on what side of the bed Vince wakes up one morning and decides, yeah, let's bring back Paige, or no, let's not bring her back. You know, I think it'll ultimately be a Vince call. If Vince wants her back and feels, you know, that she's going to stay out of trouble. I mean, I think that's the big issue. Is Paige going to come back and be the Paige of old, or is she going to come back and cause problems backstage, and is there going to be drama? So that's the big question, if she's going to come back and be as good as she was before. Did they scrap the movie? I haven't heard anything about the movie being scrapped. I assume it's still going to be coming out and will be up soon. Looking at some of the other comments here. Who will challenge The Miz after TLC? Well, you know, somebody earlier mentioned maybe Samoa Joe goes babyface and helps the Shield. And you know, you can have Samoa Joe versus The Miz for the IC title. I'm cool with that idea. Shaddy says, should Cedric Alexander be the face of the Cruiserweight division? He was really over on this show. The crowd loves his finisher, the lumbar check. They pop big for that. You could, I mean, it feels like he has a little bit of momentum. So maybe they could do something with him and make him a focal point. What do you guys think? Leave a comment, let me know. NoDQ is greater than Billy Kidman. All right, I'll take that. Billy Kidman was quite great in his heyday, so, you know, I'll take that as a compliment. Use Strowman to turn on The Miz and have Strowman versus Miz for the IC title. That is Chris Mace's idea. Do you see more cruiserweight cruisers leaving? Possibly. I think WWE's trying to work things out with Neville and hopefully boost the morale with the cruiserweight division. If Neville does in fact leave, then that might convince others to walk out as well. I mean, it just depends if, you know, apparently there's issues with the royalties, cruiserweights not getting paid for the WWE 2K18 game, you know, more than they feel they should, among other things. So I think a lot of it is financial, but if WWE can keep them happy, then maybe things will turn around. You know, the whole thing with Neville's t-shirt and the WrestleMania DVD, there's a lot of little things that are adding up, it seems. And maybe the other cruiserweights feel like there's no upward mobility, there's no way to get any further in the company. They're going to have that glass ceiling. So time will tell if more do try to leave. But anyways, it's getting late here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in to NoDQ Live tonight. I appreciate the support. I will be back tomorrow night. We'll talk about a lot of things going on, not just from Raw, but also SmackDown Live. If Jinder Mahal challenges Brock Lesnar, I'm going to be angry tomorrow night. So tomorrow night might be a really fun edition of NoDQ Live. But that'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and wrap things up now. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow night for more. Thank you guys.